I'm gonna make this video quick. This is all about this pound for pound thing. This Roman Gonzalez pound for pound thing. The reaction of people is all based on that. Okay. Um, I watched the fight, and I wanted Roman Gonzalez to win. Because I actually never seen the other guy fight before, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like, no, I'm rooting for Roman Gonzalez. The guy got a cut in the second round. I felt early that he was losing a little bit. This guy was just, I see his knockout ratio. This guy, it was even some points I was a little afraid that he was going to stop Roman Gonzalez, right? But Roman Gonzalez started to pick it up. I mean, I've seen him start slow and come back several times. So I'm like, all right, maybe he's just starting slow. It was a back and forth fight. It was a war. Very little defense in this fight. It was just a back and forth slugfest in my opinion. All right, Rung Visai was just a puncher, and each round, neither one of them won. I don't really remember, but I remember each round. I felt like Rung Visai was winning maybe the first half of the round, and then Gonzalez came back strong and finished off strong, or vice versa. All right. So I personally think that when I first saw the decision, and I remember because I'm in the bar, and the fight is over, and I'm like, okay, that was a good fight. I'm thinking that Roman Gonzalez got the win, because even though I'm not thinking that they're not gonna give him the decision. So when they gave it to Rung Visai, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. They robbed that dude. But when I think about it, the fight was really a close fight. It was really close. I was just shocked that they didn't give it to Roman Gonzalez because that's one of HBO's main dudes. I was shocked. I'm just being honest here. But it was a close fight, man, and it sucks because this guy had a fight with a cut from the second round. It was a bad cut, and they headbutted like 4 times in this fight. Uh, the point taken, I thought that was a little strange because I'm like, I don't know. I didn't go back and watch it, but from when I saw it, I was like, how can you take a point from this guy? It was probably accidental. He got a southpaw fighting orthodox guys. They just kept coming in, bumping heads. So, I mean, unless he saw that was an intentional headbutt. I don't know. I thought that was a little strange, taking a point. But, it is what it is, Um, it sucks that this guy lost. He was undefeated. But, that's boxing. I mean, and, I think this whole pound for pound thing is what got everybody going crazy. And listen, I don't make many videos about Roman Gonzalez. I've been watching his last 5-6 fights. And when his name started really brewing, and I saw that he was starting to get high on the pound for pound list, and people were, started talking about him, like maybe 6-7 fights ago, I started to check him out. And then, once he started fighting on the undercard of Golovkin fights, it was just, they were going hand for hand, and they were like promoting, like that's what HBO does. They have a fighter, and they promote their fighters. Roman Gonzalez, they gave him the pound for pound status. All right, Golovkin, they were pretty much saying that he was the most feared man. Lomachenko, they saying that he's the most technically skilled fighter in boxing today. They label all of their fighters. Not all of them, but like a good amount of them. And that's all I looked at it as. I haven't done a pound for pound video on here in a long time, maybe in a couple years. But I never had him at my number one personally. I think he's good, and I don't want to take anything away from him. Um, being a smaller guy or anything like that. But I just never had him there, and I think uh, a lot of people that feel like he got exposed, they want a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people wanted him to lose just because he had that pound for pound status, you know, and you know, I think a lot of people that say that he was pound for pound was only saying it just because HBO was saying it. You know, I don't really buy into what they say. I have my own eyes. I have my own opinion. You know, if I think he's pound for pound, then that's my opinion. You know, I don't think it really matters. You know, it's just pound for pound is it's an opinion. You know, it's not that serious. So I think it's all this stuff that's going on is basically solely based on the pound for pound status that he was given by HBO. Okay, and their commentators. You know, because I remember, and I've brought this up before. I remember when Jacobs beat Quillen, and Showtime immediately said, "This is the best fighter at 160. He has the best fighter. He beat the best fighter on both Triple G's and Jacobs' resume. You know, he beat Peter Quillen, undefeated Peter Quillen. You know, Golovkin don't have a Peter Quillen on his name. So I remember Showtime was going with that angle. Like this is the true best guy at 160 because he beat Quillen. You know, who did Golovkin beat? And you gotta understand, like, Jacobs is a Showtime fighter. So they're gonna say that. HBO is gonna back their man Golovkin up. That's all I look at it, you know? Now, how we feel personally is all debatable. You know, but you can't go too far with what the commentators and the network say, you know, because that's what they're supposed to say. They're building up their fighter. You know what I'm saying? So the Roman Gonzalez, you know, he lost. Listen, he fought the freaking fight, the whole fight with a bad cut. He fought a good, you know, from what people were saying, this guy was a really good fighter he fought. You know, I know Quadras has beaten him. But, yo, he's been fighting tough fighters. Quadras was a tough fight, you know. I thought when I found out he was fighting Quadras, I went and checked him out, and I thought Quadras was going to be a difficult fight for him. You know, Quadras, you know, the McWilliams fight, that guy, you know, Royal McWilliams, that guy was a tough fighter, you know, and, you know, the few guys, he's been moving up in weight. He fought a tough fight, and he took an L. It's not that serious, you know. If you thought he was pound for pound number one, then if you really feel that he was, if that's your opinion, then you could still have him somewhere in the top 10 pound for pound. He took a loss. What? It's not a big deal if guys take losses. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. You know, this guy didn't have to retire undefeated to be considered to be a great fighter. You know, me personally, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. All right, since we're talking about him and we're talking about pound for pound. Not only did I not think that he was pound for pound, but I thought there was a good amount of other fighters that I would put in front of him. All right. I did put Andre Ward in front of him. I did put Golovkin in front of him. Kovalev. All right. I put those guys. I put Lomachenko in front of him. I put Terrence Crawford in front of him. You know, I'm not talking about before this. I'm talking about before this loss. This loss has nothing to do with it. This loss doesn't change my status on Roman Gonzalez. All right. I still even have Manny Pacquiao in front of him, pound for pound. That's my opinion. All those guys I just named, I have them in front of Kovalev. Did I say Kovalev? I said Golovkin, Ward, uh, you know, Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko's better than him, pound for pound. You know? I think a lot of these guys, pound for pound, are better fighters than him. I think he's pound for pound. I just don't have him, obviously, I don't have him in the top five. Some of you guys might take that personal. I really don't care. It's not a race thing with me. I just, that's my opinion. You know? Now, but if you had him at number one, I'm not mad at you for it. Maybe you real diehard fan of him. Maybe you really think he's that good. You know? I ain't gonna be mad at you just because you didn't have the guy I think is number one there. Like, that's corny. You know? I'm not emotional about it like that. He's great. He's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. You know, but I'm a little bit more impressed with some of the other fighters that I named before him. That's just my opinion. It's a loss. It's not a big deal. You know, I'm shocked, but he bounced back from it. You know, and maybe if he didn't get that cut, he would have won the fight. You know, He would have won the fight if it wasn't for that cut. As far as like the fight itself, though, I think I liked Gonzalez's his combinations were much better. You know, I think at points both of them were backing each other up. Um, I thought I do think Versailles shots were a little bit more effective, especially early. Because early on, I was like, yo, this guy's beating Roman Gonzalez up. Like, he's really beating him up. And then, you know, Chocolatito came back a little bit. So I was like, all right. You know, he usually starts slow, but it was going back and forth the whole fight. So, you know, at first I was shocked. I was like, yo, why they rob this guy? But then I was like, you know what? It really was a close fight. I can't call that a robbery. You know, definitely can. I was just more shocked, if anything. All right. But anyway, I'm not gonna make this long. You know, it's not a big deal. He took a loss, but yo, the dude's been fighting like good fighters back to back to back to back. You know, and he's been moving up. You know, I don't think he's gonna beat that Nui guy though, the Japanese fighter. That guy is good, man. I don't think he could beat that guy if they were to ever fight. And plus, that other guy is naturally bigger. That guy's quick, man. Got power. That guy's a really athletic fighter, man. I don't know if he could beat that guy if they were to ever fight. But I think he could bounce back, maybe get a rematch. You know, I don't know if he's going to still fight Quadras. Quadras didn't look great. You know, I thought the guy he fought was giving it to him a little bit, Quadras. The guy he fought, I never heard of the other guy, but the other guy was pretty good. You know, Quadras struggled in that fight, in my opinion. You know? And it is what it is. Sometimes you fight guys we might have never heard of them, but yo, the guy is a good fighter. Clearly. All right. So anyway, that's it. Make sure you guys hit subscribe. Peace.